Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. I know so many of you over on TikTok have been blowing up the comments asking for this, so today we're finally doing some customer reviews analysis for it. But before we dive into that, be sure to check out this exclusive discount available for it. You'll find it in the description and in the first comment under this video. Now, let's not waste any more time and jump right into the details.
Let's start with our first reviewer's experience.
This reviewer had a seriously rough start with this new router, which is saying something given their background. Our reviewer mentions having experience building computer networks professionally, so they are far from a novice. Despite this expertise, the initial setup proved to be an incredibly frustrating ordeal, making the device seem like a horrible replacement for their previous one. The core of the problem was the inability to access the router's settings through the standard web browser interface on a laptop. Instead, they were forced into using a mobile app that this client found to be completely dysfunctional and inadequate for proper network management. They felt that relying on a phone for detailed network control was a flawed concept to begin with, and the app itself was so poorly designed that it blocked any reasonable access to the device's full utility. After 2 frustrating days and several hours on the task, a breakthrough finally came thanks to an exceptionally helpful customer service representative. This representative guided our reviewer through a couple of non-obvious tricks that served as a backdoor to get past the chaotic app. The solution involved clicking a small, unmarked icon of 2 computers, and then a barely noticeable letter hidden at the very bottom of one of the app's pages. Once full access was finally achieved, everything fell into place. The reviewer was able to restore their original network name and password, and their 50 or so smart devices all reconnected instantly, bringing their home back online. In the end, this client feels the hardware itself is excellent, but they strongly hope the company improves its setup instructions and moves away from such a flawed and restrictive app-based installation process.
Fantastic. Now, let's see what insights our next reviewer has to offer.
This reviewer came from an older mesh system that was running in what's known as bridge mode. While that setup provided great Wi-Fi coverage over a large area, it had a significant security flaw. The guest network wasn't truly isolated from the main one. This, combined with getting a new phone that supports Wi-Fi 6, prompted the decision to upgrade to this new router. According to our reviewer, the configuration went pretty smoothly. The process required factory resetting all the old mesh nodes first. Then, after connecting the new router to the modem, the setup was handled through a mobile app to create the new network's main hub. The old nodes were then added back to the new system one by one. This client shared a useful tip for those who connect their mesh nodes with Ethernet cables. The nodes must be added to the network wirelessly first. Only after a node is fully set up should the cable be connected, followed by a quick reboot of the node to make it recognize the wired connection. The end result was exactly what was hoped for. The home now has a fast Wi-Fi 6 central router, with the older Wi-Fi 5 nodes successfully extending the signal throughout the property. Phones and other devices seamlessly switch between the 2 standards when moving around. Best of all, since the system is no longer in bridge mode, the guest network is now properly secured. Our reviewer also noted that the built-in support for a USB drive worked instantly. The only minor critique was a desire for more advanced settings in the web control panel, which felt a bit basic compared to some other manufacturers. Overall, though, it was an excellent outcome, and the entire installation was completed without ever needing to call tech support.
Wonderful. Now, let's explore the feedback from our next reviewer.
This reviewer upgraded their home internet to a faster plan and needed a new router to keep up with all the devices. They'd tried a few different routers beforehand, but nothing seemed to quite cut it. Finally, they decided to give this mesh router a try. Right from the start, our reviewer was impressed. It's been working perfectly ever since. The client has a pretty large house, over 6,000 square feet, and every single room gets a solid Wi-Fi signal without any dead spots. It's kind of funny because the specs say it's only really designed for a much smaller space, but in their experience, the coverage is way better than advertised. And they're not even using any range extenders or extra modules to boost the signal. Every TV in the house, which relies on streaming devices, gets crystal clear picture and audio with absolutely no buffering or audio glitches. Since all the TVs run through streaming, a reliable connection is really important, and this router delivers. The only real downside this client could point out is that they haven't seen many firmware updates since they first installed it. They mentioned receiving one update during the initial setup process, but not much since. So if frequent updates are something you consider important, that's something to keep in mind. But ultimately, the most important thing is that this router just works, and it works well. Even if it's not the newest model out there anymore, it's been a reliable workhorse, and the reviewer plans to keep it running for as long as possible.
Appreciate you watching. If this video helped, like and subscribe. Let me know your thoughts below. See you soon.